Hello and welcome back to Math Time with the Math King. My earlier video on shapes or plane figures, or we also called them 2D or two-dimensional figures, was pretty long. So I'm going to try to keep this video pretty short and just go over the highlights. We're going to talk now about solids or three-dimensional figures. Three-dimensional, meaning that there's form and shape to it. It's not just flat anymore. So I've listed some of the popular solids or three-dimensional figures up here on my board, my giant whiteboard. And we're going to go over what they look like, the characteristics of them, and how we can find them. A lot of them we can find in our everyday life, in our homes, when we're out for walks or in the car. We can find a lot of these all the time. So let's talk quickly about the different solids that we have here. We start off with the cube. Now, we use cubes at my house a lot, especially while we're all home from school and work, because we play a lot of board games at my house. And one of the cubes that you're going to find when you play a lot of board games is this one. That's right. If you use dice, you're using cubes. A cube has 6 sides to it, or we call them faces. Faces are the flat sides of a cube. We know there are 6 because when we roll a die, one is called a die, 2 or more are called dice. When we roll a die, we can roll between a 1 and a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides on a cube, or 6 faces. Now, when you have a face, here's a face that has a 1. Here's a face that has a 5. Where those two faces meet is called an edge. Now, we can see on this cube, at the top of the cube, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. On the bottom, there are 4 edges. 4 plus 4 is 8. And then there are 4 edges along the sides. That's 12 edges on a cube. So we have 6 faces, the flat sides, 12 edges, and then we have these corners. The corners where the edges and the faces all seem to meet or join together. One corner is called a vertex. All of them together are called vertices. A cube has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. So when you think of a cube, you think of a square, but more like a box. Okay, a square is flat. A square is a flat, plane figure. A cube has sides to it that we can see and feel and touch. It has faces, edges, and vertices. So a cube, remember, 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Our next figure that we're going to talk about, our next solid, is called a cylinder. You have so many cylinders around your house, I bet. A cylinder has a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom, and it looks something like this. This cylinder is glow sticks. I think I got it maybe at the dollar store last year or something like that. I was able to find it laying around my house. But look at all the things in your house that could be shaped like cylinders. Flat and a circle on the bottom, flat and a circle at the top, and rounded all around the sides. You've got 2 flat faces on it, the top and the bottom, but you don't have edges and you don't have vertices on this because there's nothing that's straight. They're all curved, right? So this is a cylinder. Circle top, circle bottom, round on the outside. Think of glasses maybe that you drink out of. Cans of food. If you've got some cans of corn or carrots or peas in your house, I bet they're shaped like a cylinder. Round, round, and all around the outsides round. So a cylinder is anything shaped like this. Sometimes you see buildings that have cylinders that hold up, go from the floor to the ceiling. Okay, maybe a pole or pipes, tubes are all types of cylinders. I always say too, a pencil is like a cylinder sometimes before it gets sharpened. The pencil is flat on the top, the eraser, round round on the bottom and round on all sides. That's also a cylinder. Our next shape is a cone. Now, the easiest way to think of a cone is exactly what we love to eat, ice cream. Think of an ice cream cone. That's a cone. Now, I looked all around my house. My wife even helped me. We couldn't find any cones in my house. So what I did was I printed up some pictures of cones that you might see. Okay? Of course, ice cream, not the ice cream part, but the cookie part at the bottom that you get to eat is a cone. This is a funnel. A funnel where we pour liquids into it. Sometimes you might see somebody changing the oil in their car, and they use the funnel to pour in the oil into the car. Sometimes they're used for baking and things like that. You see it's round on the top, and it comes to a point at the bottom. So it's like a cylinder, except instead of being round at the top and round at the bottom and being the same size going down, it's round at the top, and then it comes to a point at the bottom. This is a party hat, like you'd wear at a birthday. You know, the ones with the pointy top that you wear around your head. And this, of course, is a cone that you might see out on the streets. A lot of those out now as the people are out paving streets and filling in potholes. Round at the bottom, comes to a point at the top. Those are all cones. Next up is a sphere. I bet many of you have spheres at home. Now listen carefully how that word is said. It's not a spear. A spear is a long pointy stick that some people like to throw. We don't use spears. We use spheres. It's like the word fear with an S in front of it. Sphere. Try saying that. Sphere. Sphere. A sphere is like a circle if it came to life. A sphere is a ball like this. This is a ping pong ball. My family and I have been playing a lot of ping pong during the quarantine. We've been home and we set up a ping pong table in this room, actually. It's taken down right now. But we play in this room where we're doing the Math King videos. And we play a lot of ping pong here. We have a great time. We have a lot of fun, good laughs, a little bit of exercise, not too much with ping pong, but a little bit. But a ping pong ball is a sphere. Another sport I like to play is tennis. Tennis balls are spheres. Basketballs, spheres. Baseballs, spheres. If you have a globe at your house, a globe like a small earth, that's a sphere. Most sports balls that we play with are spheres. Soccer balls, golf balls, also spheres. This one is not. This is, of course, a football. A football is not a sphere. A sphere is round on all sides. This is definitely not round on all sides. So a football, not a sphere. Okay, so we talked about spheres now. Anything that's completely round on all sides. Okay, mostly we think of balls. You might want to go and think of some things we can eat that are spheres. I think right away of cantaloupe. Cantaloupe are almost always round. Watermelons, sometimes, but usually they're longer. Okay, so they're not round all around. Sphere, something all round. Finally, we have a rectangular prism. And again, I bet you have a lot of rectangular prisms in your house. Now, a rectangular prism has a little hint in it, rectangle. Things that are shaped like a rectangle. So boxes, a lot of boxes in your house are rectangular prisms, especially cereal boxes. Cereal boxes are rectangular prisms. I have cereal a lot for breakfast. Sometimes I eat the good kind, like Cheerios or Raisin Bran. Sometimes the kind that's not so great, like Lucky Charms or Captain Crunch. But rectangles are the sides or the faces of the rectangular prism. Here's a rectangular prism here. Here's a box I just found at my house. Okay, shaped like a rectangle. That's going to help me figure it out. 4 sides around and 2 on top and bottom. That's 6, just like a cube. A rectangular prism has 6 sides or faces. Just like a cube, a rectangular prism has 12 edges. Remember the edges where the two sides meet? That's an edge. And it has 8 vertices, also just like a cube. Okay, this was a little short introduction to solids or three-dimensional figures. Okay, if you have any questions about these or anything else in math, just let me know. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.